Good evening. Hello, conscious ones. Good evening, and welcome to the Conscious Creators ToolBox. 7 o'clock on Thursday. It is June. It's June the 9th. So, welcome to the Conscious Creators ToolBox. I'm Jean, the conscious creator like yourself, conscious one like you. Ready to get started on this one? It'll be a crazy night tonight. Crazy night. Turn this off. I've been listening to enjoying James Ingram. We lost him. Lost another one. And enjoying his music this week. So it's been kind of speaking to me from the beyond. Anyway, but we have no rights of his rights or rights at all for his music other than enjoying it. We enjoy it, and that's what the powers to be to understand that we're not claiming anything on Mr. Ingram's music. But we miss him, and we still enjoy his music. He left his spirit here, and his art, his work, and his love and his passion and what he did well. And we've just been enjoying it this week. So welcome to the Conscious Creators Toolbox. And this week's session, we're going to be doing something a little bit different tonight, but I'll tell you about that in a little bit. Welcome to the YouTube channel. If you have not registered, subscribed, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I want to invite you to do that. Subscribe, leave a comment, share the content with your friends. If we're talking about something that you've been in a debate about, or you've wondered about, or you know somebody else is wondering about it, share it. Share the content with your friends. What our purpose is, our purpose, or what we take advantage of the opportunity to do, is to identify and discover our creative abilities, our creativity, to explore our creativity and discover all of our creative tools and our creative powers and abilities that we have to create and manifest our lives and our realities, our destinies. We are creators by default. We cannot not create because we're created by the creator, out of the same stuff of creator, created like our creator, out the same image, the make, model. We're like our creator. We create out of the same stuff, and we can do and have and be all that our creator can have and do and be, because we're made out of the same stuff, and it's energy stuff, creation, energy stuff. So each week we come in and we take a session and we look at our creativity and our powers, our abilities. I call it our tools, our creativity tools that we use to manifest and bring into our realities and into our experiences those things and those situations and those circumstances and relationships and connections that we want to create and manifest for our enjoyment, for our education, for our learning, for our transformation, for our growth. And just because we can. Like I said, we cannot not create. That's what we are. That's what we are. That's how we make things happen for ourselves, and that's how we create situations that we can step into and experience. Sometimes we do it and we're not really aware or tuned in to the fact that we are creating, we are manifesting, but we are definitely manifesting. Everything about your life, every experience you have, every connection you have, every situation in your life, whether you enjoy it or not, whether you're fond of it or not, whether it's a warm and fuzzy and making you gleeful and blissful, or making you cry and be sad and ruminate and worry, fret you, anger you, whatever. You did it. You did that. You made it. You made it. And like our creator, like our maker, we're unlimited and unrestricted creators. We're unlimited and unrestricted creators. We have the power in our creativity and our creative tools and our creative powers to do what creator does and what creator did. Creator created this beautiful universe, this beautiful planet, this beautiful world that we live in, and all the nature sings and around us ring, and it's beautiful, and we're part of it, and we're the same as Same stuff. Same stuff. But we are limited, unrestricted, created beings. And again, we're created by our creator out of the same stuff of our creators. And again, we can do and have and be all that our creator and source and father and God, universe, whatever it is that you call your creator, your source, you are made out of that same stuff, and you have the same powers and the same abilities, the same know-how, and the same. You can do it. You can have it. You can be it. And you're only restricted and only limited by what you believe of your creator and what you believe of yourself. If you believe that you are a chip off the old block, that you are like your father, you are like your source, you are like your creator, then look at you and get to know and get to find out who you are, whose you are, and what you are, so that you'll be aware of all of your magnificent, awesome creativity. All right. Anyway, I like to always say that I'm just like my daddy because I can do all things. Like my father can do all things. I can do all things. And my father can do, and there's nothing that my father can do. I was talking to a friend of mine today, and she was saying, she says, some things are just, we just have to realize that some things are impossible to us. I said, maybe, maybe they are, but I know that they're not impossible to our Father and to our Maker and to our God and creation. So my Father, my source, my Creator can do all things, even the impossible things, even the things that we back off and we shake our heads and we say that'll never be. and and Father never says never, because never is not a it's not a it's not a time. It's not a point of concern for our Maker and our Creator, and neither should it be for us. We should probably avoid the word never. We should probably avoid the word never, because what is it? What is never? It's like what is always. Eternity maybe, but it's always. Anyway, so that's what we are. That's what we do on Thursday night. We come here and we go into our toolbox, our tool sheds, and we get out one of our creative tools, and we dust it off and oil it up and bring it out and pull out the operating manual, take a look at the operating manual and find out how to use it, what it's used for, what was it given and provided to us for, what are we supposed to do with it. I keep telling folk, that it's nothing worse than having a tool and you don't know how to use it or don't know what it's for. And that's what we do. We try to identify all of our creativity tools, and just in case, I can just name a few so you can understand that they're just things that we probably take for granted. We probably don't even think about our words. We speak just like our Father spoke, and there was light, and He said there was. Then let us do this, and it happened. So we can use our words, and we can use our thoughts, and we can use our feelings. I call feelings the glue, the stuff. That's the stuff that move around in us and that make us feel and act a certain kind of way, or some kind of crazy way, sometimes. So our feelings help us. That's part of our creativity. Our like I said, our thoughts, our words, our feelings, our emotions, our desires, yeah, our behavior, how we act. Yeah, how we act. Those things create our beliefs, what we believe and what we not don't believe, what we know, have a discernment about. We know our intuition. That's one of our tools. Ego, believe it or not, is part of it. It helps us with our creativity as well. Like, we're just a bundle of creativity. Everything about us is creative. It's part of that creative system or creativity that we use again to create our lives and our realities, our circumstances, our connections. Yeah, so that we can have the experiences that we desire to have. Our desire. That's another one of our creative tools. Announcements. Let me make a few announcements. We're in the midst of session 2 of our manifestation workshop and our manifestation project. We are manifesting, a team of us, about 7 or 8 of us, 7 of us now. We're looking for one more conscious creator that wants to help co-create and co-manifest a 5 days retreat in Hawaii. We are in the session 3. We set our intention in session number our one. No, we're in session two. We're in session number one. We set our intention. Session number two last week. Last week, last session, we talked about using our imagination and visualization to be, to be in Hawaii whenever we want to be. You can use your imagination. That's one of our creativity tools as well. Our visualization and our imagination. We use that to project ourselves into the wish fulfilled. Is what Neville Goddard and Wayne Dyers has called it, living in the end. So we can use our imagination to be there. So we talked about that last week, and we had a beautiful slideshow of all types of excursions and tours and sites that we could see while visiting the island of Kona and Oahu. As though we narrowed it down to those two islands that we were going to choose from to decide where we're going to actually host, which one of the two islands are going to host our event. But if you are interested in honing in on your creativity, your ability and your powers to manifest. We're walking through the steps. We're applying those steps. We're looking at six steps. So we were in, like I said, we were in step two, and we're right in the midst of that visualization and imagining ourselves in Hawaii and all the things that we're going to experience. And like I said, we had a beautiful slideshow last week, so we have plenty visuals to use to start visualizing ourselves in Hawaii. We saw visuals of just beautiful things to see and do while in Hawaii. The beaches, the mountains, the volcanoes, the cultural centers, just the vegetation. I mean, oh my goodness, the vegetation, the people, just the buildings. We saw some pictures of Pearl Harbor, which is on Honolulu, on the island of Honolulu, in that area. So that's a little island there. So we got a chance to see all of that last week on a visual slideshow that was presented by one of our co-creators who actually lives in Hawaii. She lives there. She travels back and forth from the Big Island to Oahu. So she was able to capture some really live stuff and bring to us last week. So we have plenty of visuals to live in the end if we want to live in the end and partake and see some of the, just visit and do some of the beautiful things and events and excursions that's available for us in Hawaii. But the workshop is just basic, I call it basic manifestation 101. We're walking through six steps of manifestation, and you're welcome to join us on those. So you do have to register. It's a Zoom event, but you have to register for it. Actually get a seat at the table, if you will. But it's absolutely free to join us, to listen to those lectures and even see and hear some of the things that we're hearing and seeing and doing. It is a joint project, so we're the team of us, the seven of us are actually coming together and making a decision as to which island we want to host, that we want to host of our event, our retreat, and what we want to do there. We're going to be talking about where we're going to go, which venue we're going to use. Are we going to use a resort? Are we going to use a hotel? Are we going to do an Airbnb? Where are we going to stay? So we're going to be doing that next, deciding that. And then we got to move on to figuring out exactly our itinerary when we get there and all the activities that we're planning on doing and all the things that we're planning on seeing. So we're walking through it. We're actually applying the steps. We are deliberately and on purpose walking through the process of manifestation. We do it all the time. We do it all the time without thinking about it. But we're actually going to put it into action for ourselves and walk ourselves right into Hawaii, all right on the beach of Hawaii. You're going to probably do some yoga on one of the beaches in Hawaii. I don't know. We'll probably, and maybe have some Reiki sessions on the beach in Hawaii. We'll see. On the beach in Hawaii. That's a song in it. Yeah. Anyway, if you're interested, register. You can register. I'm going to leave some information in the comment section of this session, and you can register to be a part of that. If you do not manage to be a part of the live Zoom event, we are going to record it and we're going to download it to our website later, and you can you could have access to it there, and I think there's gonna be a fee for accessing that, like $2 or $3. I'm not sure exactly what it is off the top of my head, but it's gonna be just a fee to actually reserve it or rent that video later, because what we're gonna do is we're gonna store it on our website, and of course, we have to pay for that space and time, so anyway, you can see it after the fact if you want. In fact, if you go to our website, www Team Conscious Creators, you can see session 1 and 2 and take a peek at those and see, catch up on that. But we welcome you to the live session too. So come on down, come on down. You don't have to manifest Hawaii. You can manifest a new job. You can manifest getting out of debt. You can manifest, getting losing those 10 pounds. You can manifest a vacation that you want to take. You can manifest, I don't know, whatever it is, that new car, that new boat, whatever. You can manifest whatever it is you want, because the same steps that we're using to manifest our dream retreat, you can manifest whatever it is you want. Manifesting is manifesting. We're just doing it up close and personal, and looking and seeing ourselves walk through it. And actually, we are in Hawaii. Yeah, we are in Hawaii. All right. That's all I have about. That's all the announcements I've got. Let's see how much time did I use. 15 minutes. I'm getting better. Anyway, tonight, what I'm going to do tonight is a little bit different. I'm not going to specifically talk about one of our powers, one of our creativity tools tonight. But what I am going to do is I want to share with you how, well, I call it spiritual downloads. Some people call it intuitive information, or this is or messages from my spirit guides, my source, whatever. But I call it spiritual downloads, and these are usually, they usually come to me in just, I call it messages. They're messages from source, from out there, from beyond, and given to me for, because I mean, I'm meditating and I'm always open for what is it that I'm to share, what is it that I need to put out there, what is it, how do I say this, or I'm always open for messages to deliver, to be given, to receive, and to share. So I received several messages this week, and that's one of the reasons I couldn't come down to what's the message that I should deliver, what tool should we look at tonight. So I guess I'm going to be looking at how we receive our messages that we share with one another, and how we get those intuitive hits, or the intuitive uh, well, messages. How do we get intuition, and how do we know when to do this, or when to say this, and how to say this? So what I do is, when I'm meditating, I leave myself open to hear and to receive, and I try to stay in a meditative state all the time. I know when I was a little girl, I would, be hanging out with my grandmother, and she was always talking and humming and mumbling under her under under my hearing, anyway, to herself. And I'm always wondering, what is she talking about? And I try to get close enough to hear her, and sometimes it would be songs, and sometimes, she would be, rattling off scriptures, and sometimes she would just be calling out, saying Father, and thank you, Lord, or look at that, and I'm so glad, and what a wonder, just acclamations, I guess. I mean, affirmations, acclamations, confirmations. She was just talking and speaking. Sometimes, and she was speaking, sometimes they weren't coherent words, or there was some foreign language she was speaking that I couldn't quite understand. But I would always ask her, "Who are you talking to?" And she says, "I'm not talking to you." And I said, "Okay." But I was always eavesdropping. So she wasn't talking to me, but I was eavesdropping. So I'm, as I'm older now, and I'm thinking back at that, it must have been her conversation with her spirit guides, and with her source, and with God and her father. And she was getting information, and she was getting messages, because she was a woman that was, she was, I'm going to call her, she was kind of a woman before, out of her time zone. All right. She was a woman. She did a lot of, so many things that was way over and beyond what a lot of folk in her at that time that was available to women to do. She was, she actually was one. She was a founder of one of a church that's actually still standing today. Um, and she was a missionary. She was a spirit led uh, healing woman, medicine woman, healing woman. She had a reputation of being, I don't know, using roots, but she was she used those plants and plants to make medicine, and make salves and stuff, and people called on her to use those things, and she was a helper. And she was a really profound light worker. She was, I'm thinking now that as I'm receiving messages, it must have been the same kind of conversation and same kind of communication that she was maybe having all those years ago, 40, 50, 60 years ago, a little way, way long ago. But anyway, so I receive my messages to share, usually what to share every week, or what to talk about in a series, or what messages to deliver on Sunday if I'm doing a message at the Interfaith Truth Center ITC on Sunday. What messages, and I wait for those messages to come, and I use those. I go walk. I use take them forward and share them. So what I'm going to do tonight is I've got so many this week as I was walking around doing my meditation and doing my daily walks, things would just come to me. And I share them. A lot of times I share them on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram or on my Facebook page. But I, I, I use them a lot of times again to come up with sessions or ideas for sessions or suggestions for sessions to share. But I couldn't quite get a feel of what to share this week. So what I did is I pulled all those messages that I got this week, and there was 7 or 8, but I'm going to try to share a few of those with you tonight before I run out of time. But before I run out of time, wait just a second. Let me turn my get me down. Okay. Um, I'm just going to share a few of them tonight, and I'm going to give them to you just like they were given to me, just like they came to me, and kind of give you my take on them. I haven't pulled them out to deliver a message on them or anything, but these were messages that were given to me. The first one that I want to share with you is this. It says, it came to me, regret nothing, have no regrets, regret nothing, but appreciate everything. And I thought about that. I think I received that one morning. I was, saying my prayers or doing my journaling, and that came to me one morning or one evening. I'm not sure if it was, yeah, but anyway, I was here before my walk, and I thought about it, kind of meditated on it, and I kind of thought, right, right. When we regret, what's what we're doing when we regret is rehearsing what we did, second guessing what we did, feeling bad about what we did, worrying about the result of what we've already done, what's already passed. So regret nothing at all, but be thankful for everything. That was the message that was given. Don't be regretting what's already done, what's already said and done, all in the past. Be grateful for everything. Whether it turned out like you wanted it to turn out, whether you made a fool out of yourself, or you were the hero of the day, whatever. Treat them both the same. Treat them both the same with appreciation. The opportunity to even do or say or speak or act, whatever. Just be grateful for that. So, what does that mean? What did it mean to me? It means not worrying and not stressing and just letting little things just go. Just letting those little things go. But most importantly, I think that it meant for me, don't look back on something and wish that it had gone a different way. Living without regret, it kind of lets you live in the moment, keeps you in the moment when you live without regret, because you don't look back and you don't regret, and you don't start stressing about what happened, what you did, what you said, what was said to you, what went down, because it's already down, it's already done. So it keeps you in the moment while remembering things that were positive in some way or another. Everything that happens, no matter whether you liked it or not, or whether it turned out like you wanted it to turn out, it's okay. It's okay. You're still standing. You're still alive to tell about it. You're okay. And you have another opportunity to do something different next time. Just don't regret it. You may not be happy about it, but don't regret it. Be okay with it. Thanks. I got that out the way. Now I can move on to something else. Being regretless, it kind of gives you a little freedom, gives you a little bit more freedom, gives you more time to to think on the positive side than ruminate on the negative or what didn't happen. It gives you an opportunity to focus on what you want rather than what you don't want or didn't want. Okay. All right. So don't sweat the small stuff. I like this. No worries. You hear people say no worries? No worries. No worries. No stress. Regret nothing, but be thankful for everything. The second one that came to me this week was there are no wrong choices, and kind of goes along with this. There are no wrong choices, just different choices. You can't choose wrong because there is no wrong. Every choice you make is a choice. Just call it a choice. Again, if it didn't work out like you wanted to work out, all right, then you got that out the way. You move on and make a different choice next time. The crazy thing is, it didn't work. I'm going to do it again. No, if it didn't work, you don't like you don't like the result you got, do something different. Make a different choice. We have the freedom to choose. So let's choose. Let's choose. Let's do different choices. Unless we want the same thing, then we do the same thing. But if we want a different result, we got to do a different thing. So they're different choices. They're not right choices or wrong choices. And that, again, there's a lot of freedom in this particular lot of freedom in this truth. No matter which way we go, you'll always get to get to the same place called there. You might have to go the long way around, go to take some back roads, some under the byways and highways and skyways or whatever, but you're gonna get to the same place. It may take a little bit longer, but you're gonna get there. So all roads lead home. All roads lead home. This journey we're on, we're all on a journey. But guess what? We got the same destination, the same place called home. Home for me is home for you. So, you know, do your thing, go your way, have fun or not, and have fun again. Or if you decide that's not the fun I want to have a different fun. Have a different fun. And like I said, don't regret a thing. Just keep it moving. Keep it moving forward. Keep it moving forward. All roads lead to home. Once you accept this truth, once you accept the truth that you can't make a wrong move, you can't make a wrong decision, making decisions will come easy for you. You won't get stuck as often as you used to, trying to figure out, I gotta make the right decision. No, just make a decision. Make the best decision that you can make at that point in time. But don't classify it as whether it's right or wrong or best or bad or whatever. It's just a decision. This is what I'm going to do. I've thought about it. I've given it consideration. This is what I'm going to do. And you step out on that and you do it. If it don't turn out like you expected it to turn out, guess what? Don't beat yourself up. Don't get mad at yourself. Don't regret a thing. Just do it different next time. All right? All right. Again, there are no wrong choices. There are no wrong choices, just different choices. You can't choose wrong. Number 3, the third thing that came to me this week is nature is much more than a backdrop, a background, or a stage for your performance. Sometimes I think that we take our world and our beautiful nature for granted. We have, I live in Cobb County, Georgia, in beautiful Marietta and Smyrna, and those 7 little cities around Cobb County, and they're beautiful places. Beautiful places. I mean, in my neighborhood, I love to walk my neighborhood because I know I was a tree at one time in one of my lives. I love the trees. I love the trees here, and I call this Old Marietta, old Marietta. So a lot of these homes of this community is well established. So a lot of beautiful established statuesque trees and gorgeous foliage, and it's just beautiful here. The neighborhood's just really beautiful, and I love to walk and I love to appreciate the beautiful, this beautiful scenery. And we shouldn't take it for granted. I know something else that was given to me sometime, I think that maybe last week, is that everything has consciousness of some sort in some form or another. Nature has consciousness. Nature, how it responds to the seasons. It responds to the seasons. The trees, the leaves green, they turn colors, they fall off, they come again the next year, give us beautiful shade. The grass is green, the grass is brown, the grass is it turns back. All of nature, everything, everything has consciousness. It may not be as advanced as human beings, but it's part of humanity. Conscious that nature is all part, it's an intricate part. It's a very intricate part of humanity. Without nature, we wouldn't exist. We depend on nature, and nature depends on us. All right. I wanted to read this. All nature, just like us, are simply created. God created the trees. God created us. God created the oceans. God created us. God created the bugs and the bees and the spiders and the trees. And God created everything that we see is created. And creation works. And just like us, it has consciousness. We're human. Nature is natural. And they have a form of consciousness again. And again, maybe not as advanced as human beings, but nonetheless, it responds. Nature responds to creation just as we respond to creation. Nature responds in its own way, changing the seasons. The flow, ebb and flow of the ocean and the water waves. The fish in the water. They all respond to creation, responding to creation. And it's not just simply for us, a playground for us. It's not just a backdrop for what we have to do. It's just like us. It's just like us. So I say, be kind to everything. Be kind to all things, all people. And guess what? Nature will respond to us in kindness, because nature provides us all its beauty. It shares its beauty with us without prejudice. And we should honor that and take care of that and recognize that as life, as well as a human being's life. Nature has nature life as well. All right. So that came to be another number 4. Yes, you can choose to respond or react. But there's another choice you can make, and that is you can choose to ignore. This was given to me during a coaching session with one of my clients. And like I said, Spirit speaks through situations, speaks through people. It speaks any way Spirit wants to bring information, present information to you, and understanding to you. It uses that ability. I think in the Bible I was reading somewhere, and it's one of the stories where a donkey was talking. So anyway. Uncle Mr. Ed was speaking. Anyway, I can't really recall the situation that we were talking about so much, but what this particular message refers to. But it left me. But I guess for me, the bottom line with that is that both responding and reacting can leave us feeling powerless or helpless, or, well, I could get upset, or I could hold my peace and respond. But both of those make us feel like we have to do something. And if we don't do something, it's just that whatever it is that we need to respond to or react to, make it feel like it's required of us. Well, it's not. It is not. We are not powerless. All right. We're not powerless to anything external to ourselves. Anything external to ourselves. We have a choice. We can choose whether to respond or react, or how we're going to respond. We can decide that. Just because it's demanded of us does not mean that we have to fall into or respond to the demands or even answer to the demands, we can ignore. We can ignore. We can ignore it. We can always ignore a situation. We don't have to respond nor react. We can just ignore it. We can choose to not give any consideration or credence to any circumstance or any conversation or anything that's presented to us or given to us out here externally. We can choose to turn away from it. I think they call it repent. Repent from it. It's not going to call me in to. I'm not even going to acknowledge. I'm not even going to give you the honor of responding to you. I'm just going to let it go. I'm going to turn away. And I think I remember my client say, "Isn't that a reaction?" Uh, well, but you get to decide. You get to decide. You're not feeling compelled to respond or compelled to speak at all or to do anything. I'm not, it's calling you to do all those things, but no, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing anything. I'm not even gonna recognize what you said. It's gonna go in one ear and out the other. I'm not even gonna hold it in any consideration at all. So it's done. I'm the operant power here. I get to decide how I'm going to react, how I'm going to respond, what I'm going to do with everything that's presented to me externally. Yeah. And you too. You are the operant power of your beingness. You get to decide. You get to decide. Let's see. We can choose not to give any credence in truth. Anything or any circumstance that lies outside of ourselves is something that does not control us. All right. It doesn't control us. Doesn't, you're not my boss. I'm the boss of me. I get to decide what I'm going to do and how I'm going to do it. Okay. All right. Their results. I'm gonna leave with this. This is there are results, and I think this is a comment that I made. There are results there are results to responding, reacting, and ignoring. You should determine which meets and serves you best. You decide, is it something I need to respond to? Is it something that I feel that will benefit me to react to? Or is it something, is this something that's best left ignored, turned away from, not even acknowledged? All right. So you get to decide what's best for you. Number 5, your strength lies in transformation, conscious ones, not in confirmation. Be transformed. Renew your mind. Everything changes. Everything. Nothing ever stays the same. And this is, as the song goes, this is one thing is for sure. Everything must change. Nothing stays the same. The only thing that just is guaranteed is that the rain falls from the clouds, and what is it? The rain cloud, sun lights up the sky, and what was the other one? And hummingbirds fly. They do. They fly, and you kind of wonder, how did that little bird fly with those little short wings? But they do. Those are things that's for sure. We know those things. Everything else, a lot of the other things, we're not, it's not guaranteed. It's not, we don't. It's not for sure. But we do know that things change. We know that things change. The thing is, the way the way I learned oops, where is that? Oh, that was number 6. Um, we get to decide how we want to change. Conforming means that we are fitting into a mold that somebody has given us. And that's the way of the world. We were from day one, we were being conformed or programmed and to fit into the mold of society or the family or the community or the neighborhood or the religion or the ethnic group or the classroom or and we get started school and we had to be conformed to be the right kind of student. To conform on your job, you got to be follow a certain mold or certain pattern to fit in and to so we've been conforming all the time. We're conformed, but the strength lies not in being conformed into everybody else's pattern or, everybody's the same, just cut out like a cookie cutter. No, transformation is your strength. being changed, transformed. Transform, you take a part in that. You decide, you design your own pattern, you design your own mold, and then you start fitting yourself into it by renewing your thought pattern, your belief system, your thinking, the process, how you process your those thoughts in your mind. Renew your mind so that you can transform, not conform, but transform. So your strength lies in transformation, not in confirmation. Your individuality, your authenticity is your superpower. You get to decide the pattern. You design the pattern, and then you start renewing your mind so you can transform yourself into the pattern that you design for your life. You're the captain of this ship. It's your ship. You captain. You driving that car. Okay. All right. The third one was, the way I learned to avoid distractions is to understand the difference between what I can change and what I can't change. There are things that happen in our life that we just don't have any control over. We might want to. We might want to, handle that and deal with that, but we can't. There's some things about ourselves we can't even, change. So how in the world are we going to change somebody else? So it reminds me of uh, Alcoholics Anonymous motto, the Serenity Prayer. Grant me, uh, help me understand what I can change and what I can't change. Grant me the serenity, the peace and under peace and accepting those things I can't, and the wisdom and the strength and the power and the know-how to change what I can, but also give me enough sense and enough discernment or whatever, enough guidance so that I know the difference between the two. All right. So the way I learn to avoid distraction is to understand the difference between what I can. So when things come at me, if it's something that I can't change, I'm not gonna, follow off into it. I'm just gonna let it go. I can't. That's not. I'm gonna stay in my lane. I'm not gonna get out my lane. I'm gonna stay in my lane and do what I can do, and let the others fall where it may want to fall. The sixth number 7. Trust the connection. It makes the connectors one, at least while you are connected. Everything requires energy, some form of energy to operate and to perform at its maximum. Okay, you need something. Just like a light bulb, you need electricity to light the light switch. You need your battery power on your computers, to keep that power going on your computers and your laptops. And with humans, we need energy too. We need a source, a life source, force source to keep us going. And if we get unplugged from that, then we're not going to operate at top notch. We're gonna be faltering. We're gonna be blinking on and off. We're gonna be dragging. There's nothing wrong with our computers. In the middle of a project that you're working on, and the battery dies, or you're on your telephone, and you're trying to you're right in the middle of this big sale, and the phone, and the battery dies on the phone. You need to be connected. You need to stay connected. The thing about our connection as human beings and as the life source, is that once we connect to that life source, it's the same life source for everything that has life. It's the same source. And once we connect to that life source, then that connection makes us one. It keeps us one. Now, I don't know about you, but I want to stay connected as long as I'm here on this side of heaven and life. I want to, I want that life to keep flowing in me. And I know that you probably feel the same. Well, it's the same source. It's the same connection. It's that same connection that maintains your life, and maintains my life. So that connection makes us one, because it's the same source that's running in and out and through all of us, in, out, and through us. And it's keeping us one. Understanding that truth and trusting that connection, when you can't trust yourself, or you can't trust the other connectors, just understand that life source that's flowing through you is for sure. it's for sure. And as long as you're connected, you're for sure. All right. And you are one with me, and I'm one with you. And I'm one with them, and I'm one all over the world. We're one. We're connected because it's the same source, no matter where you are, in the jungle or not, or in the city, in the fields, or in the White House, in Taj Mahal, or in the ghetto. Wherever you are, if you have life, you're connected to the same source that we're all connected to, which makes us one. All right. The last one, number 7. I think that was number 7. The last one came to me yesterday at my Toastmasters meeting. A young lady was sharing with us um, her sister, who is a dancer. We were talking about, your what do you, what is it? What makes you creative? And she talked about her sister being an artist. She was a dancer, and she loved her art. And she also said how she used her art, and she used her dance, her creativity in dancing. She used the same principles in all areas of her life. And I was really amazed at that. I was amazed that she recognized that that was happening to her sister. Well, surprisingly enough, any anything that we do that we consider an art or a craft or a profession or something that we love to do, and that we do it well, we do it, artistically and creatively, then whatever we put that create or manufacture or manifest joy and bliss in us, we can take that same principle and apply it to every area of our lives. We're creators, we're manifestors, we create. And the same principle of creating a beautiful picture, of an art picture or sculpture, or creating a song or writing a book, that same concept, that same artistic creativity is the same energy that you would use in every part of your life to create a better life, a more prosperous life, a more happy life, a more positive life, to do and create the things that you desire, not the things that you don't desire, don't want. That you're focused, and when you're creating, you're focused on whatever that art is that you're creating. You're visualizing, you start and you can already see the end, and you're already visualizing, the end of the project or the finished product. You can do that with yourself as you're designing your life. Your everyday existence is a work of art too. It's like a work of art, and you can apply that same principle that you do on any artistic projects or things that you love to do and you do well. You can apply the same principles to them. Look for the foundation of your creativity in whatever it is that you create, whatever you do, you love to do, and apply those same underlying principles, underlying desires, underlying passions to other areas of your life. And you will see a magnificent change in in your life, in just life, period. So if a dancer can see that at a very young age, and I think she started dancing when she was 16 or 17. She left home and went to New York, to schools in New York, when she was like 19, and she's made a beautiful life out of life, applying the same concepts, the same creative concepts to all of her life. So everything you need is inside of you to create and manifest every part of you, every bit of you, everything. Nothing is withheld from you. Your creator, your source, your God, your Father, source, divine, the universe has provided everything that you need is right inside of you. All you need to do is go in there, stir it up, pull it out, and use it. Use it. Follow us on Conscious Creators ToolBox. The Conscious Creators ToolBox. On Thursday, we're talking about your creativity, your creative tools, and we'll help you identify those things that might be hidden inside of you that you don't yet even know that you've got. and that maybe you do know what you've got, but you're using it the wrong way, or you're applying it a way that it's not meant to be applied. So we can help you sort those things out on the Unconscious Creators Toolbox on Thursday evening. So join us next week. I'm not sure what we're going to be talking about. I'll probably have a whole bunch of downloads like I had this week, but we'll find out. We'll wait and see which one shouts out to us and tell us that we need to look at this skill, look at this tool, and take it out of the toolbox and find out how we need to use it. Okay. Thanks a lot for joining me tonight. I hope you got something out of it. And if you didn't get anything at all, let me just leave you with regret nothing. Regret nothing, but be thankful for everything and everything living, everything living. Well, everything has consciousness, even the things that are solid, have consciousness in some form or another. So everything have consciousness. We are connected to all, and especially nature. Be kind to everything, and that kindness will be returned to you, double, triple. So that's it for tonight. I'm gonna say manifest best, and until next week, remember that God loves you, and so do I. Good night. Take care.